Yeah, good evening, everyone. Uh, the subject we are talking about web designing with PHP and MySQL. And yesterday we started the discussion on the topics of the data types, PHP data types. What is the PHP full form we have discussed? Hypertext preprocessor. That was a full form of the PHP. We have discussed the PHP introduction. We have discussed the introduction and what are the characteristics of the PHP we have discussed. The characteristics were simplicity, flexibility, open source efficiency, and security. These were the characteristics we discussed. Then we discussed about the uh, applications of the PHP. In server side, we can use the PHP. In command line, we can use the PHP. For writing desktop applications, also we can use the PHP. And after that, we have discussed about the first PHP program, how we have to execute the PHP program. So that we have discussed. The syntax we have discussed was angle bracket open and angle bracket close, and the question mark open and question mark close. Then after PHP keyword, and inside that we can write the PHP code. Complete PHP code we can write. Okay, that was a discussion yesterday we had. Then we also executed this. Then after that, we have started the discussion on PHP language basics. The basics were data types, variables, and operators. And we start with the discussion on the data types. In the data types, there are three types of classifications were there. So the classifications were predefined data types, user-defined data types, and the special data types. These were the three types of classifications. And this is a classification structure. This is a classification structure. So in this predefined data types, again, the classifications were integer, double or float, and string and boolean. These are the four classifications. And user-defined data types were array and objects, and special data types were null and resource. So these are the data types classifications. Okay. Then we started a discussion on what are the predefined data types. One by one we started. And that we started the discussion on integer. In the integer, we had a discussion on these data types. Integer, again, that is divided into decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. So decimal integers were that base was 10. Decimal integer base is 10 because the numbers are 0 to 9, total 10 digits. The octal base is 8 because the numbers ranging from 0 to 7, the total numbers are 8. That is, these total numbers are 10. Then hexadecimals were 0 to 15. So that's why its base is 16. Okay. So these are the integer uh, data type classifications. Okay. Now, see this example, just note down this example we'll discuss. Note down this example. So this is a PHP angle bracket open it, angle bracket close. And this is a question mark open it, the question mark close. And this is a PHP keyword. This is. And this complete, this is PHP code. Now inside this syntax, whatever you write, that is a PHP script. You can call script and you can call code. Now here see, this is a this example is octal base integer and this decimal base integers. Okay, and this hexadecimal base integers. Okay, see 0 into this x and the 45. This hexadecimal base integer. This is the octal base integer and this is the decimal base integer. Okay, and here we are calculating. This is a variable and this is one more variable, and this is saying this variable is this value 142 and this variable is 54. Okay, variable is 54. So this is a call addition. This is an addition. Okay. And this is one more variable. Sum is one more variable. After adding these two, the addition we are storing into some variable. Okay. And the sum variable we are displaying through one statement called echo. So this is the sum. And this dollar is a symbol in this result can call syntax, the symbol. Here we are displaying the sum value. Okay. Displaying the sum value. This is what is the sum value here? You can see 142 plus 254. This is the sum. And inside x, what is the value? It's the value. And inside y, what is the value? It's the value. And this value is hexadecimal, actually. The hexadecimal is displayed in the form of integer number. So this is an example. If you want, you can see this examples. This example, see, now this is a function is used. This is a function is used to know the value of, to know the data type of this. It's see here. This is a function which returns the data type and the value. So if you want, you can test this. Simply click on this. You click on this, you see. And say this. Now this X is, what is the data type? Into. This is the 5. This is written here. So this X is what data type? Integer. Okay. Now who is returning that? This is a method. This is a method is returning So this X is what kind of data type it is having and what is the value inside that. So if you wanted to know any variable data type and its value, you can use this variable underscore dump, UMP. That is one. And then next is string data type. String data type is a string data type. So inside the double quotes, whatever you write, that is called a string. So yeah, the string is a sequence of characters. Sequence of characters. So this is a string. And we are using the dump function and to know its data type and value. Again, we are applying the break here. Again, we are applying the dump function to know the value of the y and its data type. So just verify this. Click on this. See here. So what is the x, y, x here? 12. How many are there? 2, 4, 5, 6, 12. 12 characters. Okay. 12 characters are there. All these characters are. So we can use the double quotes or we can use single quotes. Here. You can use this double quotes or you can use this single quotes. And these are the number of characters. These are the number of characters stored inside the x variable. These are the number of characters stored inside the y variable. Okay. And this is a function. This function is returning what is the data type of this x. And this function is also returning what is the data type of the y. So the data type was string. This is a string. The value it is, this is a value. This is the value. Okay. Now let I change something here. Let change something instead of this space you remove. Let us check how many it will print. See, it is printing 11 here. See, it's 11. You see total number of characters. Let us print, otherwise we print only 11. Let's run it. So how much is the printing now? 5. See, these characters are 2, 3, 4, 5 characters are there. Okay. And the value is hello. So this function is returning variable underscore dump. This function is returning uh, what is the value inside this x, value inside this x, and type of value means what type of data type it is. I check. So it is printing the value corresponding data type, and it's also printing the number of characters. So this is, now if you wanted to remove this break, can remove, check the value. See, it is printing line by line, side by side, it is printing. So when you use the break tag, it will take a space. It will take a space. So this string data type usage, string data type usage. Then after the integer data type, see, an integer data type is a non-decimal number between, this is a range actually. You wanted to remember, you can remember. And this is the rules. Now just we discussed the rules, right? The decimal integer is having the base 10 and hexadecimal base is 16. The octal base is 8, the binaries. Okay. Here an integer must have at least one digit. An integer must not have a decimal point. Okay, we should not take any point here because we are talking about the integer data type. An integer can be either positive or negative. That means you can take plus 40 or you can take minus 40. So that is You can take a positive integer and you can take a negative integer. And integer can be specified in all these bases. Okay. Now you see the $x is an integer. Is an integer. And this function, var underscore dump function returns the data type and the value. Check it once again. Look on this. Now this function is a returning C. What is the x value? This is the value. And x type is the data type into data type. If you see this here, point, let us take 25 kp. Now we'll check the x will be displayed as int or any other data type. Check it once again. So it is displayed as what float. That means this number is a float. So who is identifying that this function is identifying that for the x variable, the assigned value is the integer value or a float value. So that is, this function is working on that. So this is a integer, the integer. Next one, see the float, you can see this is a float. Now click on here. Now see this is a float. The float. To take only integer, then to print in what is the data type you see. So it is printing only. That means this 10 is a only integer value. And if you put 10.5 something, then it will print, float data type. So this is a float data type. Okay. So we identify here var underscore dump is identified. You remember the function name. And about the function, you have to pass the input as a what is the variable you want to find out. For the variable, if you want to find out its data type and that's a value, you can write that variable as an input to this function. Okay. Yeah. Now the next one is a Boolean. A Boolean is it is a true or false. The values are what true or false. And see what say true or false. You entered true here, say it is a bool. The data type is what? Bool. So pronunciation you can call the complete name is Boolean, but the data type is bool. Now if you enter the false, I've entered false here. Now we check what is the value it's going to print out. It is entered false. So this is a Boolean, the Boolean. Next one C is an array. What is an array? Just note down one line statement in the program. We'll discuss. Yeah, an array stores multiple values in one single variable. So this following example. So this is a variable, is an array, and the dump function returns the data type and value. So what is the job of this function? This function returns the data type and value of the particular variable. Check this example. You are seeing here, this is the variable, which is an array, and these are the values. So the values. Just check once. See, what is the data type of this variable? Is an array. Okay, the size of the array is what? 1, 2, 3, 6, 3. And in that, this is called 0, this is called 1, this is called, okay, this is called index. This is the index. Index. Now in zeroth place, okay, zeroth place, what is the value? This value always there. And this value is having how many characters? 5 characters. Okay. And the data type is what? String. It's string. Okay. Next one. Next one, second value BMW. And that is the 3 characters. Plus this is 3. We just string whatever. Next one, Toyota, then 6, then string. So this is an array. This is an array. Next one is a PHP object. What is object using? The object concept you might have studied in your C++ and Java. C++ and Java, other programming languages you might have studied. Okay. So what is an object here? So here classes and objects are the two main aspect of the object-oriented programming. The concept one is class and the concept is objects. So what is the class means here? See, these are all programming languages. These are all programming languages. Now, this is one kind of program, this is one kind, this is one kind, this is one kind, likewise. So that means this is a class, this is a class, this is a class, this is a class. That means all these programming languages under the class category called programming languages. Again, they have divided into some other types of programming languages. All HTML versions and HTML comes under one programming language. So that is a class. That is a class. Now, what is an object here? The object is what are the kind of its features, they're called features, or simple properties and functionalities. Those are comes under the object. Those comes under the objects. The class is a template for an object. Okay. And an object is instance of a class. That means from the class you are taking an object. From the class you are taking an object. That means from the template you can design any number of objects. That means from this template you can design any number of objects because we are talking about instance. So you can take multiple objects you can take from the template. So you have a template. This is a template. Example. This is a template. Now in this template, you can put anything. Okay, that anything is called an object. This is an example. Now see this example here. Let's see the example here. Now this is a class. The class, car is a class. This car is a class. This is a class keyboard. This is a variable. Color is a variable. Model is a variable. And this is a variable. This is a variable. The, this is a method. This is a method. And this is the other method. Okay. This is an object here. My car. This is new part. This is a reference variable. This is a reference variable. And this is a function. And this is a reference variable. Okay. Now just check once these things. Now what is this type of car is object this car, first car one is what critical is there. Okay. The string data type, this is string data type. This my car is one string data type. Okay. And which is having these values. This one is a Volvo model, that is a model. These are the properties. So the properties. Take this program, you will understand. Take this program. Yes, have you taken this program? Now that is the class and object. Here, this car is a class, and this is for this car class we are creating an object. This line is called an object, and this is created with the new keyword. This is created with the keyword. The next one is the null values. What are the null values we are using? The special data type. Null is called one special data type, which are only one value, that is a null value. That is a null value. So in a variable of data type null is a variable that has no value assigned to it. Yes, this is we have assigned no value to this. If you check this program, now see this is we are checking the type of the X. If the X is null, the X is null. This, so we will have this. Okay, check. Hmm. This X value added. And that is the null value. Now, if you wanted to change the data type to as an integer value to a variable, the type will automatically be an integer. For example, you see that here we have taken the x value is 5, and here we have taken x value is hello. Okay, x value is 5. It once again. Here the x is 5 integer, here x is 5, it is hello. So that is if you want to change the data type of an existing variable, okay, existing variable, but not changing the value. So you can use the casting of the concept here. Type casting concept you can apply here. You wanted to change from one data type to one data type. See here, this integer, and this integer we are trying to convert to the string. Let's check it out. This is a string, okay, that is taken as one. So these are the data types of the PHP. These are the data types of the PHP. We'll check, we'll see another concept. Double data type, we just note on this program, the double data type. From this double data type, see here is a double data type. The string data type is boolean, the array, and so these are the data types. The next concept is operators. Next concept is operators. You can see there are multiple operators supported in the PHP. So that is arithmetic operators. Let's see here, arithmetic operators, segment operators, comparison operators, and increment and decrement operators, and logical operators, string operators, array operators, and the conditional statement operators. So these are the list of operators in the PHP language. Now we'll see one by one what are these operators. If you look at this arithmetic operators, these are the arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators include what are the kind of classifications we have seen. These are the arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and exponentiation. Exponentiation. See, what is the addition operator do? It will add the two operand values. Here A comma B is called operands. Here A comma B is called what? Operands. A comma B is called operands. Okay. Here also A comma B operands. Here also A comma B operands. Okay. Here also A comma B operands. Here A comma B is an operands. So in place of this A comma B, you can take any value. You can take any value. And this is a symbol of the this operator. For the addition, if you wanted to perform addition, you have to use the symbol called plus. Okay. And if you wanted to do subtraction, you have to use the symbol called minus. And this is symbol is what asterisk. In computer language, it is called asterisk. Asterisk. And this is what division symbol. And this is also called the forward slash. And this symbol is modulus for the modulus calculations. And this is a percentage symbol. It's you can call asterisk, double asterisk for the exponential power. So these are the arithmetic operators. I will see programmatically how they will work in the PSP. These these are the arithmetic operators. Then assignment operator, you see this is the assignment operator. This assignment operator and this is single equal is assignment operator. If this equal, if that equal, it could combine addition, to combine subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. It is called compound assignment. This is called what? Compound assignment. This is compound assignment. Okay, compound assignment. And you can write like this. Or also you can write like this. Both are same. Both are same in executing the logic. But only thing is extra characters here is your A common is repeated. So when do the difference? So when do the difference here? This is the assignment operator and the compound assignment operator. Next one is what? Comparison operator. Comparison operator. You can see comparison, you can call comparison, you can call relational operator. You can also call relational operator. Relational operator. So this double equal is there. If double equal is there, that is called equal. You can call is equal. You call is equal or equal. That is for compare. And if triple equal is there, that is called identical. Okay, that is called identical. And and this is a not equal. This is a not equal. This is also not equal. This is not identical. This is identical, and this is not identical. If single equal, double equal is there, that is comparison is equal. These are identical. Like 2 is the not identical. 6. Yeah, A not identical. And this is greater than, this is less than. And this is greater than, less than for comparing the two values. And this is greater than or equal to, this is less than or equal to. Here there are two conditions are there. One is greater than, one is equal. Two conditions are there. Here also same thing. Less than is there and equal is there. Two conditions. So that is the relational operator we can call, and we can call comparison operator also. Both means, both means. Next one is increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. So this is called increment. It is a symbol is called the plus plus. So for the decrement, you can call minus minus. You can use minus minus. For the increment, you can use plus plus. Okay. Now, if the plus plus is before the variable, it is called pre-increment. If plus plus is after the variable, it is called post. Okay, pre-increment and post-increment. Two symbols are there before the variable, it is called pre-increment. Two symbols are after the variable, it is called post-increment. In a similar way, the decrement also. This is a pre-decrement, this is a post-decrement. This is a pre-decrement and post-decrement. Then after the logical operators, see all these operators we will understand with respect to the program, one sample program, we will understand how these operators will apply in the program with the variable, how they will take the value, how they display what the value we will discuss practically. Then after see the logical operators are there, the logical operators and is there or XOR exclusive or then the logical and two ampersand, it's a vertical bar. This is called, this is an ampersand, this is ampersand. This is an vertical bar. This is a not. This, these are the logical operators. The next one says an string operator. String operator. And this is the concatenation. And this is the concatenation now some string operator. And these are the array operators. They use union, equality, and identity. And same equality, equality, and not identity. And then after the conditional assignment operators are there. These are ternary disorder. This is ternary operator. So usually increment decrement is called unary operators. Increment decrement is called unary operators. And about all arithmetic operators are called binary operators. Binary operators. If you want to perform any calculations on two operands, X, Y, Z, if you want to perform any operations on each two operands, you require binary operator, that is plus. That means this plus operator is operating on two operands, and this increment decrement operator is operating on single operand. Okay, in the single ternary is okay, it requires three operands, it requires. It requires three operands. That's why it's called ternary operator. So these are the operators. Now we will see the programmatically how they will work. You see your operators here. All these examples you can practice through this website. Now first see the arithmetic operators you see. Addition. Click on this. Now see this. Now see this. The x variable, then y variable, this is the value and this. So addition, what is performing x plus y, so 10 plus 6. So if you wanted to change any value, example, say, say I want to give here, let's say 30 here, let's say this is a 20, okay, with a x plus y, just click on this. Now see here is the value is got change it. So this is what addition, x plus y. This is an addition. In a similar way, can subtraction also can apply. This is a subtraction. This is a subtraction. And take addition, you can apply. All, all variables operations we are performing here. We are performing x plus y and we are performing x minus y. If you wanted to print a break here, can print a break. Print a break here. Okay, it's around. See, the 16 is separated and 4 is separated. Now that is, this is a addition, this is a subtraction. Now if you wanted to perform, you wanted to perform multiplication, see, take this multiplication, this is a multiplication, that is 10 into 6. Apply this. Again, you apply the equal, and you can apply the break here, apply the, then type. See, the addition was 16, subtraction is 14, 4, then multiplication is 16. This is a multiplication. In a similar way, you can apply the division also. You can apply the division also. And you can apply division here. You can also copy this. Then this addition, subtraction, multiplication is a division. If you wanted to put any statement here, addition, like this. Boom. Looks good. Addition. In a similar way, input your subtraction also. Here, subtraction. Then we close the double quotes here. Subtraction. This is the multiplication. The multiplication. Mhm. Multiplication here. And this is the division. Mm, Close double quotes here. See, now this addition. mm, Just close this and one. Okay, these are all operators. So this is operators. You can do practice on this platform. Then after this, assignment operators, assignment operators, do practice from here. You can see one example here. You can see one example assignment operators. We will see here the 10 is storing inside this X, and we are printing that value by using the echo statement. This is called assignment operator. This is an assignment operator. The similar way we have the addition, compound subtraction, compound multiplication, and compound division, compound modulus. These are and these are the comparison operators. All these comparison operators. We practice all these things. And after the increment and decrement operators are there. Logical operators. We practice all these programs. String operators, array and object array operators. The conditional statement, conditional assignment operators. These are all operators here. Now, next concept is variables. Next concept is variables. Now, see this concept is variables. Now we have discussed as of now we have discussed PHP introduction. Introduction we have discussed, and we have discussed the characteristics. We have discussed the data types and classifications, and we have discussed operators and its classifications. Okay, then the concept is variables. Concept is variables. Now see what is a variable now here. See, in every programming language you might have studied that the variable will store some value. If you wanted to store any value, we have to use the concept called variable. Okay. Now use the concept called variable. Okay. See, there are some rules for the PHP variables. There are some, if you wanted to name, if you wanted to give any name or any name to the any concept, you have to apply some kind of rules. You have to apply some kind of rules. See, what are the rules here? We can use you can use short names like, A and B, or you can use more descriptive name, like this name, age, department, salary, like this. So it's all your requirement. How do you use the variable name? Do you use short names or do you use more descriptive names? So you can decide based on your requirement. So the rules are like this. To create a variable, it must start with a dollar symbol. It must start with a dollar symbol and followed by surname. Okay, followed by name. Example C, the dollar symbol started followed by some name. Dollar symbol started followed by some name. Okay, and dollar symbol started followed by name. So this is one rule. This is one rule. The next rule is to name a variable, either you can use a letter. Letter means you can call what alphabet, or you can use underscore. Okay, it is must and should. It is must and should. And one more rule is it is not possible to start a variable name with a number. So you cannot start the variable name with a number like this. You cannot start like this number. And it is possible to use only alphanumeric characters and underscores. So in variable name. That means if you are writing any variable, example, see this variable is there, BRAOU, Hyderabad is there. Now here they started the name with what alphabet. They did not start the name with any number. Now after the BRAOU, they given a space. So you should not give like that, you have to use underscore. You have to use underscore. So that is what it says. And the variable names are case sensitive. Case sensitive. Example here is, here VRAO is what? Inside this, B is capital. Now if I write like this, BRAOU, it is the spelling is same, but the case is different. Here first case, the first letter is uppercase. Here second case, here first letter is lowercase. That means this name is different and this name is different because their case is different. So the names are different. That is case sensitive. So these are the rules of the variable. These are the rules of the variable. By following these rules, we have to select the variable proper variable name. That is the proper variable name can be descriptive and it can be any short name. So that is the variable concept. Okay. So what is the purpose of the variable? We can store any information. We can store any data. That means we can store. It is a container. You can call it as some container. It will store the value. Okay, let us say example, x is equal to 5. That means this 5 storing inside this variable. So that is like this x, and this is storing inside this container. So this is a variable. Now what is scope again? Scope. Now, what the scope of the variable means here? Uh, in PHP, the variable can be declared anywhere within the script. So its scope is the portion of the script from which it can be referenced or used. Okay. So this scope is divided into three types: local scope, global scope, and static scope. So this is three types of scopes here. That is within the script only. The scope is mentioned within the script only. That is a local scope and global scope and static scope. Okay. Now, what is this local scope? You can see the local scopes here. Each variable declared inside a function as a local scope. Function. Okay. Do remember the concept here. What is the local scope here? The variable, each variable declared inside the function as a local scope. Say here this is a function. This is a my local is a function. Here this is a variable name. So that means this is a local scope. So it means that its access is restricted to that function only. If you wanted to access this variable, you can access only within this function only. Okay. Now accessing them outside of the function will get an error. That is get an error. Now see here, this is a function. Inside this function, this variable is there. And this variable is having a value called Hyderabad. Okay. Now, if you want to access this variable, we can access only within this scope. This is called scope, local scope. Okay. Now, if you access this variable outside this function, like this, it gets an error. So it get an error. So this is called scope of the variable. Now, remaining things you can just go through that and we will discuss in next class. We'll discuss in next class.